Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'll be out there soon. Oh, in fact, there I am. So because we're at a convention all about new technology and new concepts, I decided with a wonderful company called ARC, and with my friend Nels, who's driving me right now, to bring me out in an augmented/virtual fashion before I actually decided to come on in actual reality. So hopefully you all see me out there, and it looks like I've got some swim fins on, and I'm swimming. So did that work? Yeah? All right. So this is my friend Nels who's been helping. So what he's going to do now is, hi, I'm Ted, by the way, and I'm the futurist at a big movie studio. So he's going to hand off the iPad to me. And where am I? There I am. Okay. And then I'm going to get to do this. So watch, this is kind of fun. I'm going to tap this, and now there's something kind of coming to hang out with me there. Everybody can see that? And I can kind of move around. You have to tell me how much cable I got there. I can sort of move myself around because I'm captured fully volumetrically. So that's kind of a virtual me. One of the advantages of getting to be a futurist is you get to capture a virtual version of you. Someday this will be very commonplace. Everyone will have fish swimming around them and floating around in the ocean like this. And then there I go, swimming up to visit you guys. But the quality of this scan and the capture is uncanny. And I do a lot of work within this field, and this level of fidelity of digital human and what you saw there is pretty amazing. And then what the team did is they built little fireworks out of the fish and did all kinds of fun stuff. So that's how we're going to start our presentation. And that worked. So way to go, Nels. Nice job. If you want to learn more about his company, it's called ARC, and we're going to do more things like that. So I'm going to hand that off to you. Okay. So we had success on the first one. Now, if everything else goes bad, just remember the first one worked. So what I thought I would show today is something that is sort of, I wouldn't say it bothers me, but it bugs me just a little bit about the field that we all work in this world of mixed reality, augmented reality, and virtual reality, is that demos very typically aren't really the thing that you actually see as a user. Like when you watch all these corporate demos, and we've had a number of them throughout the last couple days here, and there'll be more tomorrow. They're all interesting, they're all good, they're all valuable, but you never really see what it really looks like in these headsets. Number one, because it's actually really hard. Because the way that these headsets move light around is hard to put a traditional video camera and just try and capture that. But because I thought I would take a risk or basically welcome you all to the largest, slowest moving train wreck of all time if this thing goes bad, I thought I would sort of try and show you how this stuff kind of works. So I've got this whole sort of collection of technology that barely works, but we thought we'd give it a try. So I'm sure you all recognize this device. I'm going to start with this one. This is the Microsoft Hololens. I'm a big fan of this device in many ways. What I would tell you before I kind of go on through everything is that I think we're on a curve here. And everything that I'm using today is somewhere on this curve from wrong to right. It kind of is leaning still on the wrong side. So everything that we're doing, while the essence of it is amazing and where we're headed with it is really, really valuable, all of the stuff that we use today isn't quite right yet. But it's right enough for early adopters and for people that are really interested in this form of experience and entertainment. So I'm in the entertainment business. I work for a movie studio. So what we did is we rigged up on the HoloLens, without getting any permission from Microsoft or anybody, a little tiny camera right in front of one of the eyepieces, which took me a little experimentation. And it looks a bit sort of like Unabomber style with all this stuff going on here. But I'm going to put it on. And if all goes well, I'm going to boot it up. And now we're going to switch to the feed, which is basically a wireless feed to a camera, a cell phone running a camera. So now you should probably see what I see. Is that right? Yes? OK. So I'm going to launch an application that I actually really like a lot. And if you haven't had a chance to do this and you can get access to a HoloLens, I recommend it. And you see what I'm doing here in terms of how to use it. This is an application called Fragments, which is really interesting. Now it's trying to recover the room because I had to map this space. And I'm going to try and load it. So if you guys are seeing what I'm doing, AWE, let's see if it'll actually do it. It's giving it its best try. These lights are going to mess with it. The stage is going to mess with it. So yeah, it doesn't quite. Well, I'm going to try one more time. Let's see how it goes. If I go this way, maybe. We'll give it a go. Okay. Let's try one more time. If I can do it this way. Okay. So I might have to let it do the room, which might need a second. Let's see, because it's not quite happy yet. All right, so let's say new room sync.
Welcome back, investigator. Before we begin, we need to do a quick scan.
So this is what you have to do when you're using a HoloLens, is you actually have to map the environment. So I'm going to give this a quick try and see how this works. So I'm going to go ahead and, what I'm doing now, and you can probably see what's going on there, is I'm actually mapping the floor. Now, because there's no walls in here, it's not going to be very happy with me. What it really wants is walls to basically build this entertainment experience. So it's sort of thinking about where my space is. And I know a lot of you work in this world, but for those that are sort of eventually going to get into the consumer part of this in and of itself is actually a really interesting experience, to actually map an environment using a device. And the HoloLens has what we call extremely good ground truth. There's very good sensors on the device. It looks a little goofy on my head, I get that, but it's really quite functional and pretty amazing. So let's say complete room sync and see if it's happy. Okay, so it says it's in sync. So what I like about this, all right, let's just call this my bedroom, and we'll say save it. Is I like this entertainment experience, and I thought I'd show this to you because this was a really formative piece of entertainment for me in the HoloLens. So I've been in this sort of crazy role as a futurist for about 5 years, which is basically like a pretend job because I work in the land of pretend, right? I work in a movie studio, so I don't really have a real job. I have like a pretend job, and I get to do this stuff for a living, which is sort of fun and interesting. So I thought I'd show you a little bit about it. So it's loading up what it wants to do, and this is essentially like a 4 to 5 hour experience where you live inside a crime drama. So if you can see this person, now to me, he feels, even though he's pixelated and sort of computer generated, he feels pretty real to me. He's really standing on the stage. I can come right up to him. I'm building this thing. Can you guys see it? Is it all kind of working? Okay. So I'm trying to bring that into focus, which I did. And there's a rat on the stage now, and there he goes. Now, one of the interesting things about the HoloLens is that you're seeing probably like a border around the device. The HoloLens, one of its limitations, which isn't really a criticism, it's just a limitation, is that the field of view is a little narrow. But what I see is because in my environment, what I'm looking at, the transparency of the field of view is really good. You're seeing it through a camera, so you're probably seeing more of the box than I see. But if you let your brain kind of accept the fact that you're kind of peering into a window on the world, you can start to really build an interesting entertainment environment. So you see all this stuff is kind of happening around me, right? Which is pretty great. And I'm literally in this room, and that just kind of gives you a little sense of that. So that's fragments. I'm going to remove that. And I'm going to very quickly show you another experience called Young Conker, which is kind of like a Mario-style game that the same group that built Fragments built this thing called Young Conker. It's loading up. And it's a fun sort of gather coins sort of run-around game. So you can see there's our little guy there. Oh, kind of freaked out for a second. There he is. And this is another game I recommend that you try. So everything is kind of transparent to me. They're like floating around in my world. Anyway, it's not happy right now, but that's okay. So we'll take that out. Fragments and Young Conker, I recommend playing it on these. Okay, so that was step 2 of our little world of mixed reality, and you can build this yourself if you want. You can buy this crazy little camera and stick it on there like this, and so far so good. It worked-ish, right? Yes? Okay. Next on our little tour, so now what I'm going to do, much to the chagrin of the AV team, which, by the way, has been amazing to figure all this out, because when I came in a couple days ago and said, yeah, I got no slides, I'm going to bring like 30 different devices, and we're going to all try and connect them up and make something magical happen, they were all like, okay, that sounds fun, we'll give it a try, as opposed to what they probably would have done in any other case and just like freaked out and went, we're not doing that. So I'm going to now try and unplug this phone, and I imagine the frame rate was probably a little hinky, because it's a wireless connection on this big stage. And I'm going to boot up this other phone, and I'm going to show you a headset from some very close friends of mine called ODG. So let's plug that in, maybe. Oh, you know what? This is USB-C. Aha, my first bogey. So, I wonder, okay, now I'm going to try and do a little experiment. The phone is sort of freaking out, so. So I wonder if this is going to work. Okay, so this one, so if I turn this camera off, this has the same rig, and this is another device that I'm a big fan of. I've been very close with this company called ODG, which is just a stone's throw away from here in San Francisco. This is a device called the R9 that we've rigged up with that same kind of camera situation, and there's a little camera literally mounted in front of one of the eyes. And I'm going to try and connect it to, oh no, we need to, this phone actually, because of the adapter, won't. Oh, what? Ah! Look at that. Give him a hand, right? Come on. It's pretty cool. It's like, it's coming to my rescue. It's like, oh yeah, USB-C, we can do that. All right, so now we're going to launch this bad boy. Swipe up. And, aha, look at that. I can't believe it's actually working. All right, so I'm going to put this on. Now, the thing I like about this, as compared to the Hololens, and I'm a big fan of the Hololens, is that this is now starting to look a little more like eyewear, right? There's a gentleman named Ralph who I've become very good friends with, and he is sort of a legend in this industry. He's been around, I think he's been working in this world of head-mounted displays for probably going on 40 years now. So he's got some chops, and experience does matter. And these guys at ODG actually know how to build stuff. So this device is actually very light and comfortable on my head and on my face. And it's completely like I could wear this for a good amount of time. So you guys seeing what I'm seeing if we swap over the camera? Oh, I might need to tell it to do it. Oh, wrong one. Oh, where'd it go? It disappeared on me. Oh, you've got it. Oh, okay. You're just going to do it this way. Okay, that'll work. So you guys see what I'm seeing? Maybe? Not yet? Yes? Okay, so now I'm just trying to find the, because we rigged up a battery on the side of this, so I need to just find where there it is. Okay. There's the thing. All right, so I'm going to go to Home, and I'm going to launch a launcher that they built in Unity that actually now allows me to launch this hands-free. So, I'm losing my tracking a little bit. There we go. So I'm going to launch this thing, and I'll see if I can get this up for you. So there's a lot, obviously, that you all know about the B2B environments for this kind of stuff, right? So I'm seeing this, and just by gaze, I can, oh, maybe I have to, no, there we go. Yep. See what I'm doing? I'm basically looking at stuff. Oh, it just does it by eye, by gaze. There it goes. So I'm basically popping around on this thing. And this device is great for business-to-business applications and very soon business-to-consumer applications. It's great for entertainment. It's great for all kinds of things, which is interesting. How's that? Am I seeing what I'm seeing? Is it kind of working? Okay, great. And then I'm going to hop out of this by trying to find this. It's usually much easier when you don't have other stuff mounted to it. There we go. So that's the back button to get out of it. Okay. And let's go back one more. And I'm going to show you something really interesting from a company called Otoy that does these really remarkable high-resolution renders that look absolutely stunning in these devices. So the ODG guys have a booth right in the center of the demo floor, and I think they have these kind of demos up and running. So I'm going to just show you this because it's really pretty amazing. Now, normally this is all in stereo, but of course we blocked one eye, so I'm basically looking at it with one eye. But the device that I have, I use it in stereo, and I get to show this to people. Now, this is all real-time rendered graphics, and in this headset, it's super high fidelity. It's like looking at a 4K TV right in front of my face that could be any size that I want. It's pretty remarkable. And it's full 360. You know, I can look all around inside this environment, and you get a little taste of that. So that's the ODG glasses. They have an even lighter weight version of these called the R8, which is, I think, and they'll tell you if I'm a little wrong on the math, it's probably almost half the weight of this. And this is actually very light and very comfortable to wear. Now, given I still look a little like a Terminator, right? So we're getting there. Remember, still a little bit wrong, but getting more right, which I'm very enthused by. So this is a device that I sometimes get to wear on an airplane, and I watch a movie while everybody else is busy watching it on a little screen like this. I've got my own little personal high-res theater, which is pretty great. Okay, so that's the ODG. 2 for 2. Pretty good, right? All right, next on our little cavalcade of fun, we are going to show you this. So these devices are relatively costly, right? The Hololens is about $3,000. The ODG, don't quote me on this. They'll tell you what the actual price is of an R9 and an R8, but it's in the $1,000 or $2,000. The other route you can go to get legitimate augmented reality is you can use something called a Mira device. And does anybody know this? Have you seen what this is? Okay, so this is a really cool device. It can kind of like packable, right? You can sort of do this with it. And it basically just mounts an iPhone, or eventually an Android phone, inside this like head-mounted sort of rig like this. You pop it on, you turn it on, and I'm going to launch and show you. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to kind of go low-tech. So I'm just going to use the camera. If you want to just boot up the regular camera on that, or I can do it. Yeah, we can. Let's see. Just go this and throw this away. And just open the camera. And OK, so now I've got a regular camera. You know what? I'll do it on the other one because can we plug the HDMI back onto this guy? Because this one will actually get you video out to the screen. Thanks for being part of the demo. All right, so in the meanwhile, I'm going to launch this application. You normally take the phone out to do this, but I can do it like this. And then it comes with this little sort of thingy, controller, Bluetooth controller thing, which I probably need to boot up. There we go. Cool. Yeah, just quit out of that. We're just going to use the regular camera. So yeah, just swipe that away and launch the video camera. There we go. Great. OK. All right, so I'm going to put this on and basically wear it like this. And surprisingly enough, it's actually very, very comfortable to wear, even though the phone itself is, a little bit heavy. Push this. OK, so now I'm going to take the camera. Let's see if I can do this. So I'm going to try and put this just kind of right in the front. You guys have to tell me if you can see it, because I really can't see it. This is a piece we built at Paramount. Where's the camera? Is that working at all? Oh, I can see it up there. Let me go into the darkness a bit. You guys tell me when you see something. Maybe this way? Let's try it this way. Now I got to find where it is. Okay, this one may be a little bit of a disaster. Oh, maybe it's not connected. Oh, let me find this. I have to imagine I look like an extraordinary idiot right now. Yes? Where is it? Okay. Well, I actually think I need to restart it because I actually don't see it in the headset, which is kind of interesting. So let's do that. Anyway, this is a great device. It's $100. And it's, you use your phone in it, and they're actually now sort of working on a lot of enterprise level stuff for people that can work from a B2B standpoint. Whew, okay. Okay, well, this one's not quite working the way I want it to, but there's a movie trailer, and then you play a little game, and you get to do stuff in the trailer. So I think the Mira guys have it in their booth at the back of the hall, so I would say try that out. And if there's time at the end, I'll try and reboot this again. But I just want to really more show you the ergonomics of this thing and how comfortable this is to wear, and that this is real augmented reality for $100 plus the phone you already have. The field of view is pretty wide. You can take this off and travel with it. It's a pretty good device. I would say if you can pick up one of these, they're in kind of developer mode where they're selling small numbers of them, but eventually this will go mass market. We're out of time. Okay, can I show one more thing before we go? No. I can show you. Yeah, one more thing really quick. Are the Ant VR guys here? Come on, quick. We're out of time. Took a little more time than we wanted. This device you should pay attention to because this device, they don't have a price for it yet, but I think, or it's actually, they've announced, I think it's probably under $1,000. It has an extraordinarily wide field of view. And they're running it off a laptop now, and it runs off Steam VR. You wear it like this. And it's super comfortable. And I am actually looking at this crazy sort of world, and the field of view is extremely wide. So I would say check these guys out, kind of coming to an AR world near you. So that's that. And very last but not least, even though I don't really have time to show it, there's an amazing company called Digilens that's right here. It's called Ant VR, or Ant AR, I guess now. What's the name of the Ant AR product? Does it have a name? Mix, called Mix. Got to stop. Last one. Okay, so this is a product called Digilens, which is an OEM product that's going to go in lots of devices. And they've basically found a very way to make this extremely light and extremely small, and they printed the visual onto this. And this is mounted in a motorcycle helmet now to do augmented reality, and it's fantastic. So that's what I had to show you. We actually kind of got through most of it. Thank you for coming, and enjoy the rest of your day.